Tata Technologies, which is a part of the Tata Group, is really big on e-mobility. Recently, Tata Technologies has collaborated with GKN Automotive, which is a global leader in e-powertrain systems. Welcome to Business World. I'm your host Siddharth, and today we have with us Mr. Warren Harries, MD and CEO of Tata Technologies on BWTechTalks. Welcome to the show, sir.
Delighted to be here, Siddharth.
So tell us, the COVID pandemic has hit all of us really hard. How has Tata Technologies managed this whole situation with labor, with lockdowns, with supply chain issues, with the whole world coming to a standstill?
Yeah, it's been quite a journey over the last 6 months. The customer base that we support has been impacted in a very profound way. Most of our automotive customers, certainly at the outset of the pandemic, had closed plants, they'd closed dealerships. Most of them had moved into negative cash flow situations, and so there was a dearth of confidence, and many of the discretionary activities in and around the investments in the future were certainly paused and put on hold. And so in the first 3 months of this fiscal year, we saw quite a drop in sentiment. But we're a virtual company. We've been a virtual company since the outset, and so we were able to move our 8,500 people from our offices in different parts of the world to a work from home mode. We were able to demonstrate very quickly to our customers that we could transition to that way of working, and for the impacts on projects and the value that we deliver to be seamless. And I think through the demonstration of that in the first couple of months of this year, as market conditions has improved, we've certainly started to see an uptick in demand, and we expect in the second half of this fiscal year to get back to where we were at the end of last year. And certainly, medium to long term, we continue to be very bullish about the relationships we've got with our clients and the investments that we're making in new technologies. You know, one of the things that we celebrated when we announced our collaboration with GKN is just the rate that the e-mobility market is growing around the world. You know, there was a recent article from Deloitte that positioned a compound annual growth rate of e-mobility at 29-30% in the next 10 years. That's going to stimulate a tremendous amount of demand for our clients, and by association, we expect to be very much a part of that journey.
So tell us about the GKN collaboration with Tata Technologies. What are the plans here? Where are we going with this?
We, Tata Technologies, have had a long-standing reputation in the automotive industry, as you probably know. We've been around the automotive industry since our inception. We've been a major player in the engineering services arena for the best part of 3 decades, and we are still the only private sector Indian engineering services company that's demonstrated its ability to be able to undertake responsibility for an entire vehicle, from concept all the way through production launch. But we recognized some 4 or 5 years ago that the center of gravity of the automotive industry was moving from its focus upon mechanical products to a balanced focus upon mechanical, embedded electronics and software. And so we doubled down in terms of investments in the embedded electronics and the software area. We've built capabilities. We've delivered those capabilities to customers all around the world. And now to have GKN endorse the investments that we've made and the skill sets that we've built by committing to us through this collaboration to work exclusively through the center in Bangalore to develop software for their e-powertrain systems and components that they will deliver to their customers, I think is really a tremendous testament again to the teams that we've been able to mobilize, and it's proof positive that I think that we're moving in the right direction as far as aligning with the requirements of the market as it changes and as it evolves. Today that center will be focused upon delivering software to GKN, and GKN will package that with their driveline solutions and their e-powertrain solutions. It will leverage that support in the contribution it makes to its customers in North America, in Europe, and in Asia Pacific. We are looking at the center as a platform for further collaboration with GKN in different areas, and we're also looking to capitalize the experience that we're able to glean there, and make that available to our customers directly. So it's a very, very strategic and very important initiative, and it's a major milestone for our organization.
Great. So now tell us about Tata Technologies business. What is Tata Technologies into? E-mobility, products, anything that you want to share about Tata Technologies? Tell us the USP of the company.
There's two components to our value proposition. We deliver real engineering services, real product development work to predominantly the automotive, aerospace, and industrial heavy machinery industry. And what I mean by that is that we provide services that extends from the provision of people all the way through the turnkey responsibility for complete products. So we do real engineering work, real product development work for customers in that sector. The second part of our value proposition is really helping those same companies select and deploy digital solutions that underpin a company's ability to be able to conceive, develop, and launch new product. And the synergy between our understanding of the technology that positions how an organization works and the domain understanding that we have in terms of the products that are enabled by the manufacturing industry is really the USP of the organization. The fact in the technology area that we use what we sell and we sell what we use, that's a differentiator when we compete with the IT service providers. The fact that we have a very deep and long-standing capability in technology enables us to make decisions as far as next generation products that again balances the importance of mechanical, embedded electronics, and software. And so that's what we bring to the market. What we also recognize is that product development is a challenge that is driven by the importance of innovation, and it's driven by the importance of change. And so one of the things that we've worked hard to do is establish a very balanced onshore-offshore proposition, and customer intimacy and being one team with our customers is really a prerequisite of how we engage, and that certainly differentiates us from many of the India-out competitors that we very often overlap with in this particular space. Now, we believe it's incredibly important to get close to our customers, incredibly important to really understand how they do business so that we can align effectively and position the type of world-class capabilities that we've consistently demonstrated our ability to be able to deliver.
So now coming to e-mobility, what are your ambitions with respect to e-mobility and embedded systems? And my next question would be, during the pandemic, most of the companies and the customers are running short of cash. So R&D takes a back seat for, this is what I feel, R&D takes a back seat for big OEMs because that's very cash intensive. And for customers like us who really want to buy an electric vehicle, who want to contribute to the nature, they are also cash strapped and they really don't want to make that big ticket expense because EVs are more expensive than ICE vehicles. So what are your thoughts on these?
The automotive industry, particularly as it pertains to e-mobility, is likely to change more in the next 10 years as it has in the last 100 years. And the change is really being driven along three vectors: the move to electrification, the move to connected, and the move to autonomous driving. Tata Technologies is absolutely committed to align itself and align our investments against those three vectors. So we intend to stay relevant and meaningful in terms of how the industry is moving and how the demands of our customers are moving. As far as the challenges, the commercial challenges that our customers have, particularly in terms of moving into negative cash flow situations and trying to balance the liquidity crisis or the liquidity requirements of today versus the investments of tomorrow. Most of the progressive companies recognize that one can't mortgage the future. The automotive industry, the four-wheeler industry, the two-wheeler industry, the trucking industry, it's an industry that's driven by new product. And so if there are compromises that are made on investments, that will compromise the competitive position of the organizations going forward. And so what we've seen is discretionary spending around things like mid-cycle refreshes, mid-year refreshes. Those sorts of things have been put to one side. But the investments in the long range, technologies and initiatives that are going to drive the transformation of the industry, and e-mobility is very much a part of that. We've not seen a compromise in the priority and the attention that those areas are getting. In fact, we're seeing an acceleration of resources and investment into those areas. And that's obviously stimulating significant demand for an organization like ourselves. So we, despite the pandemic, despite the current market issues, despite the cyclicality of the automotive industry, we are very bullish about not just the medium to long term, but the next 6 to 12 months.
So now coming to, I've driven the Tata Nexon EV, excellent vehicle from Tata Motors. And could you tell us more technologies or products that you are working on at Tata Technologies?
Well, what I can't disclose is the specific projects that we're working on for different customers. But what I can say is that our customers are in the United States, they're in Detroit, they're on the West Coast. We're working in Germany, we're working in the UK, we're working in China, we're working in India, we're working in Japan. All of the automotive hubs around the world, we have relationships and a presence in. And we are very privileged to be involved in some of the most progressive innovations and investments that are being made in the industry that will inform e-mobility in the future. One of the things that we are known for is our lightweight body engineering capabilities. We've had a long-standing relationship with Jaguar and LandRover. The investments that they have made in aluminium body structures has positioned an experience and a capability that we have that is truly differentiated. As the industry moves from internal combustion engines to alternative propulsion systems, a lightweight body structure is an essential condition. That is driving a significant amount of demand for Tata Technologies. So our traditional strengths in mechanical is still very much a part of the work that we're doing in the electric sector. But as I said before, we recognize that whilst that will continue to be important, it will not be sufficient for us to position ourselves as a strategic partner. So we're investing very, very aggressively in embedded electronics. We're investing very heavily in software. And the things that differentiate us versus the competition again is the fact that we are integrating our domain knowledge, our understanding of the industry, our understanding of what it takes to produce a product. And we're aligning that with the capability that we have in technologies like embedded electronics and software. That convergence, we believe, is compelling for the customers that we want to work with, and we believe it will continue to differentiate TTL in the short, medium, and long term.
So India is an IT hub, a software hub, and also we've seen a lot of startups working in the e-mobility sector. Battery management systems, two-wheelers, three-wheelers, a lot of startups are here. So do you think India has the potential to actually make a difference in the e-mobility sector globally?
I think I'm a little biased in that that I've committed my career and the better part of the last 20 years to India and my belief in its potential. And I think what we've seen over the last 10 to 15 years has reinforced my confidence that India will continue to grow as an engineering hub and a hub and a platform for innovation that will not only inform the automotive world, but will inform, I believe, almost every sector of the economies around the world. I think as far as e-mobility is concerned, and as far as the automotive industry is concerned, I think India 10, 15 years ago was a source of frugal innovation, the ability to be able to deliver solutions cost effectively. I think what we're seeing now is really true innovation in the context of new and exciting products and exciting product offerings. You cite the startup community. We're seeing that from the startup community, but I think we're also seeing that from the OEMs, from the large and established OEMs, from the two-wheeler and the commercial truck and passenger vehicle markets. And so I could not be more excited about serving that market, because I think for us, we look at India both as a source of demand, but also a source of supply in terms of the capabilities that we can bring into Tata Technologies that will support our aspirations around the world. So I'm very, very bullish and very, very big on India's potential as an innovation hub.
Great, sir. So now my last question, considering the pandemic, considering the GKN collaboration, what is TTL's mid to long-term plans?
We want to be a strategic partner of the clients that we work with. We do not want to be a fulfillment partner. We do not want to be a transactional partner. We want our aspirations to be aligned with the priorities of the customers that we work with. And somewhat counterintuitively, our strategy is to reduce the number of clients that we work with. For us, in order to be able to really invest and really build the type of relationships that will support our aspirations to grow short, medium, and long term. We are investing in all of the technology areas that are defining the industries that we serve, not just in automotive, but in aerospace and industrial heavy machinery. We are investing in mechanical capabilities. Despite the movement of ER&D dollars into embedded electronics and software, we still believe that the products will need to balance the integration between software and mechanical systems, and so we're investing in mechanical, but we are investing in an aggressive way in capabilities that will provide the type of connected proposition, the type of autonomous proposition that will increasingly become pervasive within the mobility industry. And despite the pandemic, despite the downturn that we've seen in the automotive cycle in the last 18 months to 2 years, again, we couldn't be more bullish. E-mobility is set to grow at a compound annual growth rate again of almost 30%. We believe that the mobility sector will extend beyond just cars and trucks, and will include two-wheelers, will include buses, and all sorts of interconnected transportation and mobility solutions. And we expect to be at the heart of that. And so we've had an exciting journey to this point, but I think things are only going to accelerate in the future. And I think our opportunities going forward continue to be Very, very exciting. Not just for me and the leadership team inside of Tata Technologies, but for the entire Tata Technologies family.
Great, sir. That was a great conversation. Thank you for a lot of insightful things that you've told us about e-mobility and TTL. We wish you all the best.
Thank you, Siddharth. Thanks again.